Okay everybody, let's have a little chat now about what I'm going to do with the bridge. Now, in the kit it talks about running the supplied wire, which we've obviously discarded for much better quality wire, which actually happens to be a lot smaller in diameter than the Megami Gold that they provide in the kit at Linkwitz. So I've wired this up. I've put some color coding here so that we know at either end of the wiring here, because this will be covered up in here. I've color coded so we can trace all the wiring pretty simply. So what I've done is I went out and I purchased some foam. Some, it's relatively, decent thickness foam. It is adhesive on one side where the white peels away. This other side is just essentially it's the sort of thing you'd put around your door or something to stop drafts from coming through your door or breezes and what have you. So what I'm proposing to do here is I'm going to put this in the channel here, make a nice flush finish, and then we'll come up here to probably this point here so that we hide all this wiring. The Linkwitz kit suggests in the planning instructions to hot glue this stuff in. I just think that looks terrible. It looks really unprofessional. And if we ever need to get back to this wiring again for whatever reason, if we've got a piece of tape that's just can be peeled out of this channel here, and then we've got free access to the wiring, which is just sitting in here. There's no gluing of anything in here. I cleaned all the glue out because the original Megami wiring I put in here was glued in, but it just simply was not. I was never happy with it. So I've gone down this road here. This shows you a little bit about the other things that I've done here on the bridge, just to make it look a little bit more professional and get rid of that speak-on connector, which I'm not a fan of. So it was a piece of U-shaped aluminium that, which you can see there, that I fashioned up, and I cut some more of the HDF out of the baffle here to accommodate for this. It is screwed in, as you can probably see there and there, and then I drilled a couple of holes in through here so that I could get access with the screwdriver up there to the screws. These are urethaned in place, and they also have no res between the aluminium and the HDF as well, just because I'm pretty fussy about when I'm putting any different density surfaces together. There's a potential for resonances to happen. Hardly anything would happen in this area, but nonetheless, I built these as if they were going to be for me, and I'm a bit of an over-engineerer essentially. So I'll show this now. What I'll do is I will put the camera on the tripod, and I'll show you exactly how I'm going to do this this extra little added part here, which is just really for my benefit and Paul's benefit, and just to make the bridge look quite professional. So stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to get a vernier like so, and we're going to put this vernier into the valley here, and we're going to measure the width. I'll lock that up, put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing, and we'll measure that the valley here is 23 millimeters. So essentially it's an inch across here. So we know we've got plenty of width in the tape. So we just really want to worry about getting the width of the tape right, because this tape is 44 millimeters. This tape here is 44 millimeters, so we're going to have to mark across this and cut it to size. So I'll show you that right now. Actually, just before that, I thought we should talk about what we'll do with the length. So we'll place this here into the corner, let this hang down, and we'll get a measurement. Grab a pen here, and we'll work out exactly where we want to be for depth, which is right there. So we'll mark the depth on the tape there, and then we'll cut through that. I'll be back to show you all the next section of it in a second. Okay, so we now have our length, so I will cut through the foam, pair of scissors, at the correct length. You can discard that bit of foam, we don't need that. So that's our piece of foam cut to the right length. Now we know that we said here that we want 23 millimeters on this, so what we'll do is we'll mark this just outside of 23 millimeters. And the reason for that is I want a really nice tolerance fit on this. And then we'll get to the other end of it. We'll do the same thing again. Mark this here and just put a mark just outside. The next thing we'll do is we'll get a straight edge, and we'll get our two lines there, and again our pen, we'll run a line down this as best we can, so that we mark exactly where we're cutting to get this the right. Okay, so there is the line, which I think you can see. It's not, that runs along the tape here. So the next thing we want to do is we want to get a knife. I have a nice knife here, and that what we'll do is we will just simply put the knife through this, and it cuts pretty simply, but in saying that, this is also a very sharp knife. Then we run this knife down the line, and we take the line out, essentially, right the way down here. And there we have two pieces of foam tape to suit what we're doing. So I'll get the bridge back up on here, and we'll show you what's happening after that. Okay, so we get our piece of just cut foam tape here, and once we got the wires laid out nice and flat in here, and we can see they all chase in the right direction, we'll just peel the tape off this, like so. Make sure that we've got every last little bit of this off on the corners here. And then starting from the bottom edge here, where there's a little block of timber, which I might grab the camera and just show you. You can see there's a little block of timber just there. So that's where we're going to start the tape. Down here in this corner, making sure of course our wires are nice and flat. Whilst of course this is a rather tolerance fit, so what we need to do is make sure that we're sitting this in properly, and making sure it sits in there nice and smoothly and professionally looking. And then run up to the end here. I'll move the camera up a bit so you can see what I'm doing there. So then this tape will just go right up there into the corner, like so, hiding the wires and holding them in place. So then the next thing we want to do, while as you can see along here, this tape is proud of the bridge surface here, so that's fine, we don't mind that, and I'll tell you why in a second. So once we know we've got all that sitting in there, press down on it, make sure that it's behaving itself and it's all as it should be. there, and it's settled into a good good position. And we're going to get our trusty knife again, and we are just simply going to hold the knife up against the edge of the bridge, like so, and we are just going to gently cut through the gently holding the knife against the bridge. We just cut through the foam. Your nice knife, nice and sharp, like my nice Japanese knives are. Get all the way to the end here. A little cut through the corner there. And we take that away, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we are left with. So the inside of this foam actually looks a little bit more, very much in keeping with the anthracite here. That is the veneer either side of it. This edge of it is a little bit glossy looking, whereas the internal side of it matches the anthracite. Now that's just purely accidental. There was no knowing that for sure. And but that's a little good accident that we had there. So as you can see, I'll turn the camera around. We have what essentially is pretty close to a flush finish across there. There's a few little trims that I'll do just with the knife if it's a little bit proud there, which I can do that off camera. And then we're down into the corner here. Everything looks really nice. And then we've got a little piece to put up in there, which I'll do and then show you the end result. And that is my version of how we tidy all the wiring up in here and make it look that little bit more professional. Okay, with a bit of trimming and a little bit of fancy work, we've got all of this is in place now, and it looks pretty good. As you can see from that angle, you wouldn't really know anything was there. Come around this side here and have a look back that way, and that's what you're looking at. So I'm really pleased with the outcome of this. A little bit of shaving and the knives and what have you, and what we've got's a really nice finish on it all. So that's put a little nick in the top corner there just to hold and the wires obviously head up that side. And there we go. So there it is. That is how I've tidied the bridge up to make it look even more impressive. So I'll take it down here and plonk it on the ground. And there we go. You can see now what you're looking at. Obviously the wiring will go through for the top bridge, but that's what you're going to see. Essentially something like that. So all in all, a really good effort, I think.